So here's something I don't understand. So a lot of people will say like America's just as racist as it was during Jim Crow and during slavery. It's just as oppressive. People actually say that, and those same people, they don't understand that who was behind the oppression. See, they'll say white people, and they were right, but it was also backed by the government, because not every white person was for oppression and for slavery and racism. And the evidence of that is that the ones who freed slaves, the ones who fought against it and advocated for it, they were white people. Blacks too, obviously, free blacks, but they were white people. But the government were the ones they had to fight against. They didn't just have to fight against. It wasn't good moral people, regular citizens fighting against other bad, immoral, regular citizens. It was the citizens fighting against the government who did not want to give up its slavery. It was systemic. So if the perpetuator of your oppression that you claim is just as bad today as it was back then is the government, then why would you support politicians who advocate for policies that give more government control? That's like, since y'all say it's the same, I'm going to use the analogy of slavery. That's like slaves. That's like, let's say slaves had a chance to vote for who their slave master is, right? It's kind of dumb, but let's say they did. That's like that's like slaves voting for one slave master over another because of, well, this person promises to give us better cottages, or they plan to shorten the work week by an hour, or the work day by an hour, or something like that, and being okay with it, like thinking that was progress. That's not progress. You're still a slave. The proper way to think of it would be, I'm going to vote for the slave master who sets his slaves free. I'm going to vote for, believe it or not, some of them actually did do that. Some of them actually bought slaves to set them free. Know your history. I'm going to vote for the person who's going to give me as much freedom as I'm entitled to. That's who you should vote for. And today, you would think that people who believe that the government is oppressive would vote for politicians who want to limit the government. But no, these same people who claim that the government is oppressive, they vote for politicians who say, yeah, the government's oppressive, but if you put me in control, if you put me in control and give me more control, I'll make sure the government isn't oppressive. That's literally what happens when you vote for people, when you support people that advocate for socialism, that advocate for gun control, that advocate for more government regulation. Like, that's literally what you're doing. And I don't understand that from people who claim that this country is just as oppressive and racist as it was before. Like, you should be trying to move away from that oppressor, not trying to give them more control. I just don't understand that.